we come to the magnificent cars, and we're going to start off with the Duesenbergs. The Duesenbergs were made in Auburn, Indiana at the early 30s by the Duesenberg brothers. In Auburn, Indiana were the Auburn, the Cord, and the Duesenberg. And this Duesenberg here, there was only 300 made. But this one here is a Murphy body roadster. And this one here is worth about $1,300,000. And then I've got 3 real Duesenbergs. Then the next one here is a 4-door convertible. And it's also another real Duesenberg, the real Duesenberg here. And then I have the Duesenberg. The next one over there is rare because it's got the supercharger. And the supercharger, very few of them had superchargers. And the supercharger alone is worth $150,000 for a supercharger. You'll see what I mean when I raise the supercharger. Very few Duesenbergs had superchargers. And this is the one that has the supercharger. You can see how valuable that is there. And then we'll go in the back. I have the replica Duesenbergs. These are not as valuable. These here are replica Duesenbergs with the Ford running gear. These have Ford motors. But these here are worth $200,000 a piece, and they only made maybe about 200 of these. These Duesenbergs here. They're very unbelievable good looking, but they're not as valuable as the real one. This is not a real supercharger, but that's why it's only worth a couple $100,000 compared to the $1,300,000. They're all in, all my cars, 160 of them are inside, and I'll show you the rest coming up this way. This is a 1931 Lincoln. I bought this from the Imperial Palace. This is a V12 Lincoln, and then this one is a LaSalle. That was the baby Cadillac. This was the baby Cadillac. And then this other one here is a 1931 Cadillac, and I bought it in 1969. I was the high bidder in 1969 of $8,000 for this car. So now the same car today is worth about $50,000. Then we come in here to my beautiful 40. My 41 is a favorite year of mine because that's the year I started driving in 1941. Here's a 41 Chrysler. Then here's one of my rarest cars is the 1937 Rolls-Royce P3. That means it's V12. And you can tell it's a V12 by the kneeling lady. The regular Rolls has a standing lady, but it's V12 means it's kneeling. You can see her kneeling here. See, that means it's a heavy V12. Then these are my Packards over here. This is a 1934 Packard. That was a great car in its day. And then here's a 1937 Packard. This is a coupe, and here's the convertible. Then this one here is a 1929 Packard, and it's got the original golf clubs inside the golf cart here. And the golf clubs are from 1929. I think the golf clubs are worth more than the car. Then we go over here. The lights are out on this one. But this is a beautiful 41 Lincoln Zephyr. Very few of these are. This is probably the only one that existed in this condition. This is a 41 Lincoln Zephyr. Then we'll go to the next one. That's a 1938 Cadillac, and I traded the Imperial Palace 50 cars for this car here. 50 cars for this 1938 Cadillac. Is that a beauty? There. That's the 1938. They had to price this at over $100,000 in the Imperial Palace in the showroom. Then here's the 1931 V12 Cadillac. And the Cadillacs came in 4 sizes. They came in 8, 12, and 16s. And this is the 12. Now, I'll show you back here. Then we have, this is also came from the Imperial Palace. This is another Cadillac from the Imperial Palace. And then we're going to go to the two V16 Cadillacs. Then the one on the end belonged to Tom Mix, the movie star. This one belonged to Tom Mix right here. This one here. And then this one here is also a V16. But they're different because this is a convertible Roadster. This one is a convertible, but it's got the roll-up windows. You have to roll up the windows. This time you just pin the windows in. But these cars, I paid about $75. I traded this car for a Maybach, and I should have done it because I traded for Imperial Palace, and they did something to it. Now that Maybach is in Germany, and the man who owns it wants $6 million for that Maybach, a 1938 Maybach. Had 8 gears forward and 4 in reverse. The 41 Cadillacs are here. You see the 41 two-door convertibles and made the 4-door convertibles. So I've got 3 of each. Then I have altogether, I have 32 41 Cadillacs. You see here, well, over here, most of them were black. I guess that was the favorite color in 41. But I'll show you a car here that I got from the Black Hawk collection in Northern California. And this one here has only 4,000 miles. The car is brand new. It's all original. You can only be original once. So when I bought it, it had 4,000 miles. Today it only has 5,000. But they were the most beautiful cars ever made. Then I'll show you the 4-door sedans here. Then we had the Fleetwood, the more expensive ones. You notice here, the longer fenders. These are the more expensive cars. See, they had the regular fenders. Then you had the upscaled Cadillac with the extended fenders. I love the 41s because my dad bought the first 41 that we ever owned, and that was my first car that I drove. And so every time I see a 41, I think of my dad, and I think it's the most beautiful car ever made, even prettier than the Duesenbergs. That's why I've got 32 of them. I want to show you a special one back here that belonged to Mrs. Roosevelt. Mr. Roosevelt bought it for her in 41. Then eventually she traded it and sold it to the wife of Bud Abbott, you know, the comedian, Bud Abbott. So this is the original Roosevelt car from 1941. It's all original. The upholstery is original. It hasn't been restored. So this is a pretty rare car here. Then here's the Fleetwoods, the beautiful Fleetwoods. And then here's a beautiful 48 Cadillac. You see here now, see the 47, when they went from 47 to 48, they eliminated the front fenders, you see here? And they kept the back fender. Have you noticed that the front end fender disappeared? I like it better the old way. Okay, that 41 Oldsmobile is the rarest car in here. Very few 41 Oldsmobiles around left. And here's some more. There's a Rolls-Royce, 2 Rolls-Royces and a Bentley. This is the Bentley. Then I told you about the Rolls-Royce, the standing lady, and the V12. This is the standing lady. And that other silver one had the V12 kneeling lady. But see, you had the 2 Cadillacs and the Bentley. They're almost the same car except the grille. Now, there's a 1920, what is that, 24 Buick. That's from New Mexico, my home state. And then here's a beautiful 37 Plymouth, all original. Then we have a 39 Buick. And then we have all the Chevrolets. Then we have the Ford and the Chevrolet Roadster, the same year. All these are the Fords. And those are your 37 Chevrolets. So, and then those are pretty interesting cars. What's that?